almost there, almost there. I'm almost feeling it. I had a long day, so I need to get it. I need to get it going. Let me get this script together. Sorry guys, I'm a little behind, but we're gonna have a good time tonight. Music always gets me going, always gets me focused and in the mood, but not today, Chief. I'm in the zone. Drop it, drop it. Woo! I feel like I'm down at Jersey Shore right now. My shirt gets tighter by the day. I love it. All right, let's slow this down a little bit. We get a little bit serious now. We'll fade it away. We'll fade it away. We'll fade it away. All right, guys. Well, welcome to Gears of War Roster Mania, guys. I appreciate you all being here on a Wednesday evening. I'm sure you guys could all be doing something else, but you decided to be here with me tonight. I always appreciate that each and every week that you guys show up. Tonight we have the usual. We're going to be talking about the Esports Gears 2K tournament that took place on November 19th. I couldn't watch, but I was keeping up to date on Twitter. Obviously through Gears of War Roster Mania, my Twitter, as well as my personal Twitter, since I am that esports insider, that kind of helps everybody that's not around to be able to keep up with everything. We also have YouStake Inc. Incorporated, Joseph Little. Joseph Little has a pretty cool background. I will introduce him prior to having him on for you guys. He is a former Army infantry officer, which I thought was pretty sweet. And obviously he came back, and now he's the VP of Corporate Development for YouStake Incorporated, which I thought was pretty sweet. Connected with him on LinkedIn, as well as the CEO of the company YouStake. So I'm excited to be talking about him, pick his brain a little bit, kind of get an idea of their company, and give you guys a little bit more of a background on them as well. Followed up with that, we're going to be talking to the CEO and president of Payday.gg. Now, if you guys don't know about Payday.gg, they are a legit LLC. They're based out of Reno, Nevada. I'm going to be talking to Silver Padilla. Obviously, he's up on the board for you guys. So I'm going to be having him on here, talking to him one-on-one about their company, about their goals, any questions that I may have that we might get into a discussion about. They are big into the esports world, which I thought was pretty sweet to have him on here. So that's going to be interesting for you guys, as well as for myself. Obviously, I'm always happy to have different guests and so forth from different parts of the industry, not just gaming, but also on the business side, the marketing side. Just because that gives us a little bit more background of esports as a whole. We're not just all gamers, amateur gamers, competitive players. There is a broad, categories when it comes to esports, and most people don't think about that. But lastly, we're going to be talking about my gaming chair partnership announcement. I have signed a partnership in regards to a gaming chair company. I was excited to announce that tonight. I don't have it on me. I am going to be having it next week. It is legit. I can't tell you the feature that it has that any other chair doesn't have. It is a lot bigger than you guys will think. It's not just it'll recline or this and that. They all do that. But this does have a pretty cool feature that I thought would be, cool to announce here tonight on the show. I'm going to be doing that last, so if you guys stick around, you'll be able to hear it live. If not, you guys could watch it on YouTube, on True Game Fans TV's YouTube, so make sure you always follow that. I always put it in the link of the YouTubes, as well as my Twitter, which is at NJCubano, so make sure you guys follow that as well. But without further ado, guys, we're going to be talking about the Esports Gears 2K that happened this past Sunday. For everybody that's in here that doesn't know much about Esports Gears, they are tournaments that are ran on Sundays. They usually start around 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You have about anywhere from 40 to 60 plus teams that compete in an online tournament bracket. Now, the top 8 teams usually make the most amount of points. Now, these points will go to a prize pool. For the first event, which is actually happening December 1st to the 3rd in Dallas, Texas. For everybody that doesn't know, it's going to be a $250,000 tournament. That is spread out between, I think right now it's going to be 1st to 12th place is the payout. If I'm not mistaken, it might be shorter, it might be more teams. But that's currently the breakdown for that. So that's going to be happening December 1st. to the 3rd, like I said. The breakdown for that, I don't know if they've come out with the official breakdown in amounts of the money for each placing, but that's what these 2K tournaments are for. They usually happen every Sunday prior to the event. Obviously, when the event is live, they don't have a 2K because everybody's going to be at the actual event. So we've been seeing a big trend. Again, this is to update everybody that doesn't watch. We've been seeing a big trend. The last 3 2K tournaments, and again, these happen Sundays, so 3 weeks in a row, we've seen Optic Gaming place first. Now, for all you guys who don't know Optic Gaming is probably, what I relate them to, is the New York Yankees of the esports world. Now, the reason why is their following. They have an outstanding following. People are buying their shirts, their jerseys, their controllers. You know, everybody knows these players by first name basis. So that's what I relate Optic Gaming to, if they were, you know, a professional team in major sports, I guess you could say, because they are a major league team. So Optic Gaming has won first once again for the 11-19 November 2K. So you have Mental, as you guys all know. Mental is Billy. The guy's a robot. Again, if you guys watch this guy play, you will understand esports a little bit better. Billy just sits in his chair. He doesn't talk much, doesn't say much. He rarely smiles, if any. But the guy is unstoppable. He's one of the members of the team. Then you have Explosives. He's the leader. He's a little bit more vocal. He's always that guy that, you know, has that mid-game meta. He does a lot of talking for the team. Like I said, he's probably the in-game strategy guy. He's, again, crazy player. You have Summons. Again, same kind of player as Mental. Doesn't talk too much. Doesn't have much expressions. But all he does is kill things. I mean, honestly, he's a really, really great skilled player. In-game, I'm not too sure what he does communication-wise and so forth. It's kind of hard to tell what a player like that. But Summons is the 3rd on that squad. Then you have Kenny Bounce. Kenny Bounce has been playing probably since the end of Gears of War 2, if I'm not mistaken. Kenny is probably the most experienced player on that team. He brings a lot all around. He's probably one of the better all-around players on that team. He's not the best skill-wise, but like I said, he's all around, so he brings it all. Communication, skill, mid-game strategies, leadership. And lastly, Icy, who actually just came back from his suspension. Icy had been out for quite a bit in regards to his suspension with an incident that he had at the last event in Las Vegas of Season 1. So Icy's been back, and ever since Icy's been back, they've been winning first. Obviously, the last 3 2Ks, they won first place. And they're coached by Ashes. If you guys don't know, Ashes is a big-time coach. He also does a lot of content creation on YouTube. He does a really good job at it. He's probably one of the best in regards to it. You know, nobody understands that Twitch is a big deal when it comes to content creation, and Ashes does that. Not only is he a coach, but he creates so much content on YouTube for his team, for himself. I think he just picked up a sponsorship, personal sponsorship, which I thought was pretty cool. So big shout out to Ashes. And that's your 2K champions. Like I said, Optic Gaming, at Optic Gaming on Twitter if you guys want to check them out. In regards to the top 4, I always like to at least talk about the top 8 teams of the 2Ks. For the top 4, you have Optic Gaming took first. Then they played Ghost Gaming, if I'm not mistaken. Then you had Fire and Ice Esports, and you had Echo Fox. Now, those 4 teams right there are probably going to be your top 4, at least that's my personal opinion, but we'll talk about Fire and Ice Esports. Now, Fire and Ice Esports is led by Demo Bounce. A lot of you people know him. Very experienced player. He does take the leadership role for his team. It's been looking a lot better. He has bounced back from Season 1. He was he was the captain of E United Gaming. As we all know, E United went from a really, really good team, placing, I think it was 2nd or 3rd, to dropping to top 12, I think it was, at Las Vegas for the last event of Season 1. Demo does have a young team. They're extremely hungry. They haven't broke under pressure, which is great. You know, that's always something that a lot of the experienced players have a problem with when playing with younger players up and coming. You know, you have Avexes, you have Xenon, you have Strafey, and you have Detox. All those kids are extremely, extremely skilled. Have they been able to master everything else? Communication, mid-game rotations? I think so. You know, obviously it's shown. They've been placing top 4, if not maybe 3 out of the 5 2Ks for Season 2 so far. You know, quote me if I'm wrong. So I definitely see Fire and Ice staying in that top 4. maybe they may fall out top 6, but I definitely see Fire and Ice just improving each and every week. Like I said, Demo Bounce, being able to lead those troops into battle is very crucial, and they definitely need him, especially when it comes to LAN. You know what I mean? You always want to have that leader when it comes to LAN events, to be able to keep that composure and to keep the intention and your team focused and in on the game. We have, up next was Echo Fox. Now, Echo Fox actually played Optic Gaming for top 2. Echo Fox, for a little bit there, with a sub, obviously, Optic Gaming, was beating Optic Gaming for top 2. As of lately, that's not been happening. Echo Fox has been sitting in the top 4, top 2 every once in a while as well. Echo Fox is led by Franchise. Franchise has been playing longer than I have. Shout out to Franchise for being able to play so long as much as he does. God bless him. I'm sure he enjoys it. Esports is awesome. It's very entertaining, very rewarding when you're winning and you're doing well, but the stress and the time management and so forth doing it is extremely hard. So I give a big shout out to Franchise for doing it for so long. He also plays with Kyle, which is one of the players that was on Echo Fox, the original Echo Fox squad for Gears of War, and he dropped all 4 players technically and picked up the whole old former Envious roster, which was Franchise, Praised, Toy Soldier, and God, who's the last guy? Wow, that's bad. I forgot the last guy, but he doesn't matter. So Echo Fox is doing really well. They have a lot of experienced guys. They have Praised, who at one point in time was considered the best Gears of War player next to Mental or vice versa. They have Toy Soldier, Jamie. Again, he's been playing for, I would say, at least 4 or 5 years now in Gears of War. You have Kyle as well. You have Ryan Fools, who's their coach. And then you also have Prison, a.k.a. Noah, who's their analyst. Now, I thought that was pretty interesting and something to talk about. The fact that Echo Fox not only has a coach, but they have an analyst. Now, what's great about that is the coach will actually be at the events with the team. You'll be able to, coach them up, give them some positive energy, be behind them, tell them what they need, give them some water. But then you also have the analyst, which is Prison. Now, Prison is a former pro player like myself. I've been playing against Prison for many, many years. So they have Prison as their analyst, which I thought was, again, pretty interesting. Now, he sits back, he'll watch the team scrim, and then he'll actually clip different plays. He'll clip different anything. It could be plays, it could be mistakes, good things, and break it down for a team, on a big screen, whether it's at LA at the Echo Fox house or just online. You know what I mean? Being able to talk to his team and analyze maps is huge for them. And I think it really shows in regards to the production and the positivity that they've had as a team. If you guys haven't seen it, Echo Fox is also doing workouts, live workouts, for their whole Gears of War squad, which I thought was pretty cool. Not only do you need mental health, but you need physical health when competing. And people don't understand, when you're playing video games, it's not just, sit there and, move your thumbs or move your hands, whatever people think it is. There's a lot of mental, strain that goes into it. There's a lot of physical strain that goes into it. You got to hydrate, you got to be focused. And all of that is taken into consideration, especially when you're competing at a high level. I personally was always hydrated. I made sure I always ate. I was always on time. I got good sleep, just because there's so many different things. And that goes with anything in life. Obviously, the more prepared you are, the better you're going to perform. And that's something that I feel like Echo Fox is really homing in on right now. And I appreciate that as a professional organization and a professional team. I think that's very crucial. So to round out the top 4, we have Ghost Gaming. Now, I know a lot of you people know Ghost Gaming. Ghost Gaming has been doing really, really well. They played at the New York City Regionals event, which I thought was pretty cool. I happened to watch them there. They were playing extremely well. Rushies has been doing his thing. That's my MVP or breakout player, whatever he's going to be put into for the season before it's even started. Definitely Rushies is my vote. You got Sleepy Time, you got J-Ribs, you got Identivs, and you have, what's his name? Not Sleepy. Speedy. Yeah, Speedy. So that's their 5 right there. You have J-Ribs obviously being the most experienced on that team. Again, he's not the best skill-wise, but he does bring everything to the table in regards to being a leader, being a mid-game meta changer. A lot of strategy behind him. He's very smart. He likes to break things down. He may come off as very aggressive or, seeing the way that he might want to argue or anything like that from the scrims that I've seen. That's not what it is. He obviously works to perfection. He hates to see mistakes, and he'll talk about it. And a lot of people don't really like that, or they don't do well with teammates like that, because sometimes they just don't want to hear the mistakes they made. They just want to be able to, listen once and then continue playing. And I think J-Ribs does a really good job of bringing his players back down to earth, when they make mistakes or anything like that. Ghost Gaming, another team. They've been sitting in top 4 for a bit. I think they won 2K so far, and they've probably placed second maybe twice. Not too sure why they're inconsistent. Again, they're not placing bad at all. That's not what I think. If you're in the top 4, I think in general for the whole season, I think you're doing really well. Not only are you placing well, but you're making decent money, and your org is getting that, that airtime at events. But I just don't know if they're lacking something, if they're off. They do have a lot of skill. I think that's not the problem. They have a very, very awesome, very skilled-based team. Sorry, and they have the communication. Maybe they could probably turn the communication up a little bit more. That's the only thing I could think of. They do have the mid-game leaders with J-Ribs, and Sleepy Time does a lot in regards to that as well. But again, I don't think they're a bad team. Do I want to see them be a little bit more consistent than usual? Yes. Will that come with time? Absolutely. So that's your top 4 right there. So we're going to be moving forward. We have also 88 Chambers had beaten VQ Vanquish Gaming for top 4, for top what is it? Yeah, for top 8 actually. Sorry. So 88 Chambers is another interesting team. They actually played at the New York City Regionals as well. You had Domes, you had Firearm, who else? Clouts, Witchy, and I forgot who the 5th is. That team is kind of all over the place. Again, they've been able to keep it together for the most part from what I've seen. On LAN, they had a good mix of skill. They had a good mix of communication and so forth. Do I think that team can improve? Absolutely. Do I think that's the roster that's going to stick together throughout the whole Season 2? Probably not. That's just the kind of team that kind of flip-flops, especially if they're not doing so well or doing so hot. That's the kind of team that'll probably make a move sooner than later, which is never the best thing. I never recommend that ever. But, that's how teams play. If they're not doing well, they'll have a... Oh, yeah, Nathan. Actually, TBO Nathan. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, they were under 88 Chambers this past 2K, but they actually got picked up by Blackout. Thank you, Nathan, for reminding me about that. And Blake Designs, thank you for being here. What's up? But, yeah, Nathan's right. They actually had an org change. They have been moved over to Blackout, Team Blackout. They're actually going to be attending Dallas December 1st to the 3rd as... Blackout. A lot of teams are going to be flip-flopping right now in regards to, orgs and teams and players, and it'll kind of fill itself out eventually towards the end of the season, as always. It always does, which stinks. But you also have Vanquish Gaming. I'm really big about Vanquish Gaming. You have Hezi, you have Mortifies, you have Razil, you have Exclusives, and Sneaky. That's another team that's been doing really well. They've been playing top 8 consistently. They also, another team that played at the New York City Regional. They played really well. Obviously, I think they're lacking a little bit. They do need to bring a little bit more to the table. Maybe a coach, maybe a manager. Because I just don't see the leadership there, unfortunately. But that's another team that we've been seeing place top 8 consistently. Like I said, I think at the New York event, they probably placed... or what did they say, 5 to 8, which I thought was pretty cool. So they're another good team. I actually met the org owners there. I met all the players, and it was interesting to talk to them. I like seeing all the different teams and the different players come up. Again, I'm all about the underdogs. I think the underdogs make the events more interesting. I don't like to see the same old teams constantly winning and winning and winning and so forth, which I thought was interesting. That's always makes a better show in regards to competition. But that is it for the 2K of November 19th 2K, guys. Make sure you guys tune in. You guys can also check at GameBattles.com. They have them every Sunday, like I said. I think next weekend is actually the last 2K before the Dallas event, which is on November 26th. So make sure you guys check that out. For any orgs that are watching this, any sponsors or anything like that, that's your best bet in regards of picking up a team, picking up a player. You want to look at their stats. You want to look at their placings. That's the best way to go about it. Again, you could also contact me directly. I've consulted for a bunch of teams, and probably most of the orgs that are in this game, which I thought was pretty neat. And I don't mind. I don't charge for that. I just like to be involved, and I just like you guys to be able to, put my name out there when I do help out orgs and sponsors and so forth, find teams and players. But like I said, 11/26, that's November 26th for everybody. That's going to be your last 2K before the Dallas event. Dallas is going to be, like I said, December 1st to the 3rd, $250,000, probably top 12 payout. That's a lot of money. That's pretty cool. Obviously, I wish I was competing for that. I'd be going crazy, screaming, jumping off the wall. Everybody that watches this show, you guys know I bring the heat to the game. I didn't stop gaming because I wasn't good. Because if I would say that, that would be me lying to myself. And I can't lie to myself. You guys all know this. I stopped gaming because I had a better opportunity in regards to doing my show and focusing on this, as well as focusing on my career and so forth. But I would love to be there. I'm actually not going to be attending Dallas, guys. I'm going to be attending the next event. Hopefully. No guarantees. I can't really say if I will or not. And it also depends if I'm going to be working the event. I'll probably only be attending, honestly, if I'm working the event. I'm trying to cast, trying to commentate, host, put me on the analyst desk, put me on the main show. I don't think they're ready to have me there. I know I've been saying this a lot, but I really don't think they're ready for it. Right now, tonight, I'm pretty contained because I'm a little tired. I had a long day at work. But, yeah, I want to be on that show. For everybody that knows me personally, my coworkers, my friends, my family, everybody knows I kind of bring the heat. I do have a toned down version of myself usually during the day or at night. Like today, I feel like I'm a little more level-headed, which is pretty cool. But enough talking about myself. We're going to bring on our first guest of the night. So his name is Joseph Little. Like I said, guys, he is the VP of Corporate Development for YouStake Incorporated. His name is Joe Little. He's a former Army infantry officer with an extensive project manager and strategic consulting experience. Joe joined YouStake as the head of business development and was integral to the expansion into esports. He's currently the VP of corporate development and just returned from an exploratory trip to China. My man Joe came to China, messaged him on LinkedIn, and he's ready here tonight to talk to you guys. So without further ado, again, guys, I always call my guest on Skype. I haven't been able to talk to Joe prior. I've been really busy this week. I'm not going to lie. But I love first-time introductions. I'm sure Joe's going to be an awesome guy, and we have some interesting questions for Joe. So without further ado, let me go ahead and call him on here. I'm hoping he's ready. I usually have some good luck with my guests. Sometimes I don't. Got to call him a couple times, maybe shoot him a text. But we're going to go ahead and call Joe on here so we could chat it up. Just me and Joe tonight. We're just chatting. Just chatting. That's it. Joe. All right, this is awkward. I love it. All right, so Joe didn't answer yet, guys. So while we wait for Joe, I'll go ahead and message him. Blake, I am drinking coffee for everybody that's in here. I do have stuff in my mug. That's a good question, and I'd like to answer that. I do drink coffee. I drink coffee at night, especially tonight. I needed it bad. So I always have something in my drink, though. And I always, you always have to do some self-promotion. That's what I try to tell people, and people laugh when they watch my show. They see the cup and they're like, dude, that's awesome. That's sick. Did you have that made yourself? Absolutely. You got to represent yourself. You know what I mean? I got to represent my brand, my logo. And it's Gears of War Rostermania. Like, it's legit my logo. And then I'll put, other stuff in it. I'll put seltzer water. I'll also put some Poland Spring water. You got to stay hydrated, especially at night, especially tonight. I'm off tomorrow. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's watching this episode. Again, I appreciate you guys watching this. He said, I knew you're about to get super lit. You're probably right. Right now, I'm trying to contain it. We have some very professional guests coming on the show. I don't know if they'll be ready for it. I'm assuming they will. Most guests get excited. Most guests look at me as different, and they're really interested in what I do and how crazy I get sometimes, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, just waiting on Payday CEO Silver, guys. He's in the chat. I love it. I love when my guests are in the show, in the chat while before coming on the show. It makes it more interesting and it makes it entertaining. But Silver, if I don't get anywhere from Joe soon enough, I'm going to be bringing you on here. Just so we could kind of keep the show going a little bit. He hasn't messaged me yet. We'll give him a little bit of time. Guys, if you have any questions for myself, any questions in regards to the show, any questions to any guest, past ideas, anything like that, you guys could shoot it in the chat. You guys could DM me on Twitter at NJCubano. I do post these up on YouTube every week. Do really well with the YouTube pages. I think I hit almost 600 plus now on my H1Z1 episode, which is freaking awesome. And my Gears of War episode, actually the most views I've had so far is when I had Jake Nasty on the show. Notorious Jake, for everybody that knows, Notorious Jake is a former pro player, because he hasn't competed in a little bit. He actually was supposed to be playing Season 2, but looks like he disappeared for now, unfortunately. But that was another good episode I had. Yeah, 9:30. We're probably gonna skip on Joe. Haven't heard anything yet from Joe. If not, we'll go ahead and bring Silver on here, guys. So, like I said, you miss playing with raw talent. Okay, we have a question from Blake. Blake, thank you for the question. This gives me some material to talk to you guys while I wait for Joe Little. Like I said, guys, Joe Little is the VP of development for YouStake Inc. Incorporated. I did message him, so I'm kind of waiting to see if he's going to be coming or not. But Blake had a question. Do you miss playing with raw talent? Absolutely. I miss playing with raw talent. Raw talent was consisted of myself, Immortal Spawn, Deadly, and Zero Excel. That was the heyday of my esports career. That's when I was winning tournaments left and right. I was winning online tournaments, LAN tournaments. I think at that time I was probably like 17 or 18. I was able to devote so much time to the game. I was putting in 8+ hours a day, which is necessary. You need that, especially you still need it now, I feel like, to be able to play at your top level. And I definitely miss it every day. That's something that, honestly, I probably miss for the rest of my life. That was a good time in my life. I was going through a lot at that time, personally. So gaming actually helped me get through that. And I've always been a big, what can I say, a big believer of gaming. You know what I mean? It wasn't just, get on and play video games. I played on to compete. I played to win. I played, to get my mind off of things. And those guys did a really awesome job of helping me do that. Immortal Spawn, my right-hand man. Zero Excel, Dan. I talk to Dan probably every other day. Deadly, grown man. He's married now. But I love those guys. You know what I mean? That was those were my horsemen right there. We were the 4 horsemen of Gears. And, we were never considered the favorites in probably every match that we had, but we did really, really well, which was always something, I liked. I always liked being the underdog because everybody didn't take us serious. And then I came in, I just beat them. So that was always my thing. I love being the underdog. Don't you think you guys could have been world champs? I just don't see any teams having the same wisdom and being patient enough with team building these days. I also agree with that, Blake. Yeah, we had a lot of patience. We also believed in sticking together as a team. I agree with you on that. You just don't see that anymore. You do see that, obviously, with Echo Fox. You see that with Optic Gaming. I give big props to Optic Gaming for being able to stick together for so long as a team. You're going to win. You're going to lose. I don't really care if you win. I care when teams lose, because everyone's going to lose. You're going to lose as a team. You're going to lose individually. You're going to lose as a team effort. You know what I mean? There's no I in team. And sometimes people don't understand that. And at events, when you win, it's great. Everybody's happy. Everybody's going to celebrate. Everybody's the best. But when you lose, you actually learn from losing. Okay? And that's not the same old, everybody says, yeah, losing is great. You're just saying that because you lost. No, losing shows who you are as a person. Losing shows who you are as a competitor. When you lose, you learn a lot about yourself, and you learn a lot about your team. When you lose at an event, and I've lost at an event, I came in second place at WCG Nationals. I know I talk about it a lot, and I lost for first place. Did I necessarily think we should have won first place? Absolutely. Were we in the position to win first place? Absolutely. Was I heartbroken when we lost? Yes. But did that change me as a person down the road? It did. I got so upset when I lost WCG Nationals. It really bothered me to lose. I was so used to winning. I played really well that event. And it just changed me, and it changed my perspective of my teammates and myself. And it just wasn't the person I am today. Now I'm a little bit more humble. When I lose, I try to stay as positive as I can. I always try to uplift my teammates. Sometimes people take it worse than others. And like I said, losing, I feel like you learn a lot more than you win. Because when you win, you're on cloud nine. You're the best. Nothing can change you. I think losing is definitely a big part of being a competitor in general and being an esports gamer. A lot of teams, when they lose, they'll break up. They'll just drop a player. They'll drop two players. They'll drop a whole roster. And that's just emotions taking over. People just don't sit back and think about it logistically. What happened? What did we do? What can we do to fix our problem to be able to come back and work better as a team? Was it, individual problems? Was it team problems? Was there a lack of communication? Was there a lack of skill? And Immortal Spawn and I did a really, really good job at doing that, being able to break down our team and analyze, what exactly we can do to better ourselves to be able to get to the level that we want to be at. And Perfection owns, he was the Call of Duty and still is the Call of Duty side of Raw Talent. Perfection Zoes is a former Call of Duty pro player. We play Call of Duty all the time now. World War II, we're the awesome duo. I love Brian to death. He's probably my Immortal Spawn of Call of Duty. But yeah, Blake, I hope that answered your question. If anybody else has a question in here, feel free to put it in the chat. If I don't get it right away, I'll get to it when I'm done. Silver, if you're ready, I'm going to be bringing you on here. I haven't heard from Joe anytime soon, so I don't want to keep you guys waiting. I like to have my guests on here so you guys can meet them. But I'll give you guys an introduction for Silver. So now, Silver Padilla, like I said, guys, he's the CEO of Payday.gg. He's best known as Sniper in every growing esports community. He's been a gamer since he can remember. That's always a hard question to answer. Somebody asks you, "Hey, how long have you been gaming?" or "How long have you been a gamer?" So I can relate to that. He said, "Since I can remember." His esports career started in 2001, co-owning one of the largest Halo clans in those times, Facility B5D. He then competed in Call of Duty for a few years and decided to become an esports organization owner. Props to him. Takes a lot of work, takes a lot of effort, a lot of money. He co-owned Mutiny Esports LLC in 2014, and they had a good run. I actually heard about Mutiny before. They also played in Gears of War for quite some bit, if that's the same one that I remember. Their greatest accomplishment happened at UMG Dallas in 2015, placing top 13 with his COD roster. Then going to MLG's Season 3 relegation with the same team in Columbus, Ohio that same year, which is pretty cool. You can follow up at relegation. He continued to help build other startup organizations as a consultant and has recently joined Payday.gg LLC as the CEO and co-owner in January 2017. So earlier this year, he joined the Payday.gg LCC squad. So I'm happy to have him on here, guys. We have some good questions for him. He is going to be able to speak about himself, speak about his esports life, and also about Payday. Payday is a big up-and-coming company. I've seen Payday everywhere. I've seen them on Twitter. I've seen them on Facebook. I've seen them on LinkedIn. So they're everywhere. And I thought it was pretty interesting to bring him on the show tonight to be able to talk to you guys about it. So, Silver, if you're there, I'm going to be calling you. And hopefully I'll be 1 for 2 for the night so far on guest. Awesome. What's up, Silver? How's it going? Awesome. I appreciate it, and thank you for answering right away. That's always a positive. That's always a good thing. So, guys, this is Silver. Like I said, he's the CEO and co-owner of Payday.gg. Silver, I did introduce you a little bit, but I always like my guests to say a little bit about themselves. So, is there anything that I missed or anything that you think you should talk about? Now is the time to do so.
Last month there. So, that was back when I was younger, obviously. And but no, you pretty much said it all. All the information, where I've been, my kind of trip through esports, and how I ended up here with Payday. So.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I know you said, you're a military vet, which thank you for your service. Obviously, I always like having the military guys on here because obviously you guys do so much for yourself, for your country, for your family, for your friends, and it's always good to recognize that. And you're not the first military guy on here, which is not a bad thing. That's a great thing. I always love having the military guys on here, like I said. So Silver, obviously the best question tonight that I'm going to probably have for you, and the first question is, what exactly is Payday.gg?
Well, Payday.gg is a social media online tournament platform. And it's a mouthful because the way it's built on a custom code. So it's a lot different than everyone else or most of the people build their websites. We wanted to make sure, obviously with the years of experience that I have behind esports, and the different tournament websites that I've played on and that I've had teams compete on, I wanted something that interacted differently with and actually did what it said it was created to do. One of the things that our website does that it interacts with its users. So what that means is, we our website's internal social media aspects of it allows us to be able to communicate with our users when they have a match. So we're able to tweet them out and say, hey guys, you have a match now. We're also able, if you remember your competitive days, you're always sitting there when you go up. Let's take Call of Duty, for instance. When you're up one map to O, you take the first map, you're over there tweeting on your phone. That's the first thing you see is everyone grabbing their phones and tweeting out, hey, we're up 1-0 against it. Well, guess what? Our system automatically does that when you report your match. So that's one of the awesome things that our system does, so it exposes that. Another thing that it does, it has fully automated bracket systems. So what does that mean? It means that once we set up the tournament brackets, we don't touch them anymore unless there's a dispute. So from the eliminations rounds all the way through the seeding for the final, let's call it championship bracket rounds, everything the system does automatically for it. We don't touch it. We don't have to worry about it. We set it up. Like I said, the only thing we worry about is any disputes or open tickets that come through the website. The other portion of the social media aspect of the site, it allows you to communicate with the users internally and send them a direct message, instant message, a private message, whatever you want to call it. You could send it to them right then and there. So you don't have to leave the site like you do now and say, hey, let me look for this guy's Twitter or something. And then you have to go and look for him and then send them a message like, hey, we have a match against you. So now everything's done internally. As their gamer tag, and again, you could instant message them directly on there without having to leave the site. So those are some of the cool features that our platform is. Obviously, if you go look at Payday, www.payday.gg, you'll see that we also created the, just like yourself, that you have your podcast going. If you go check it out right now, you're in the front of our website.
That's awesome.
So we allow for exposure for the streamers. And then if you're a content creator, we also give you space for that as well. The really, really cool thing about all that is that we created a battle arena. That battle arena is basically every time there's a match and you complete your profile with Payday GG, we automatically show your match against the other person. And as long as you have your stream, for instance, in your case, you have your Twitch attached to your profile, every time you play, your stream will be on there, on that battle arena. So if you have fans, friends, family, your coach, your owners, they want to go watch your match, then they could watch it at any given time as long as you're playing and you have your stream avenue attached to your profile. Um, that's the really cool thing about it, like I said. And the thing right now is that one of the things is I hate it, was, hey, my team is playing. Well, yeah, they're playing an online tournament, but I can't see it, right?
Yep.
Everything was about Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie streams, right? And if you're not a pro, guess what? You're not going to be able to get seen while you're playing. So we decided to build the actual battle arena for that purposes. So now everyone's a pro in our website. Everyone gets that visibility. Again, we expose everyone. We help you create your image that people are already trying to create. So that's what the social aspect of it does. Now, when we go to and it's a big answer, I know, but payday is so much that
No, I like it. Keep going.
it could take me an hour just to tell you what payday is, but I'll say one more thing, and then obviously we can move on with the other questions. I know you have more people coming, but our system. So yes, we carry everyone's ordinary bracket systems. Okay, like we have all those. So we talked about the fully automated bracket systems. We have something called the payback tournament. Everyone, when we're renaming things, we think about like, man, what would people say? Oh man, I want revenge. I want payback on that guy. So we created a payback tournament. That payback tournament was built to host a maximum of 60 games on a 15-day league.
Wow.
And what that does, it basically, we have elimination rounds, and you basically, we call it the ready to play concept. So there is no set time, like saying, hey, you have to play at 3 p.m. tomorrow at this time, or you'll get eliminated type deal. Okay. What we did was we knew that it causes a lot of stress for players. Over the years, if you had something to do, work, high school work, school work, or mom said, hey, man, you got to wash the dishes before jumping on your S video, right? Because they don't believe in esports, they don't understand it, so they're like, man, what are you doing? So you better wash those dishes or throw out the trash before you come here. So we took all that into consideration, and we removed one of the higher stressed moments in people that impact teams and players on making that hard decision if they should walk away from someone, besides them maybe not being the matchup that they thought that teammate would be. So we've eliminated the stress of not making it on time. So now your team is completely available. My team gets there. You hit ready to play. I hit ready to play. It will match up. It would matches up with let's say that's just you and me playing. It'll match us up together and we'll play at that time. And then there's a timer at that point in time that it'll start counting down. Then you're able to get disqualified if you don't make it at that time. But before then, until you hit that ready to play, there's no way you could get disqualified. Now, Sweet. You won't play the same team within the 24-hour day. The way we did that is because there's a lot of pro teams, obviously, that join these tournament sites that play against amateurs, and they destroy them, per se. And then, there's two things to that, right? One, they'll destroy them and they'll unmotivate the teams. So we took that away from it, and we said, all right, let's take them away from, let's go ahead and take that away. So you could play this team, and you won't play them again until tomorrow type deal. Okay. So we did that. We had that made. But the other thing is, there's no favoritism in our site. So it's random. You'll play whoever you're going to play, and it's all matched up by our site.
Okay. Very cool. Like you said, that was a lot of information, but that's good. I like that. I like when the org owners, presidents, CEOs, anybody come on here and talk about your guys' company, because obviously it makes my life easier, and it makes everybody here watching and even on YouTube later on know a lot more about Payday. And obviously you just did that, which is awesome. And like I said, I don't mind at all when people go on talk about it, because when you're passionate about something, obviously Payday you're extremely passionate about, and really great ideas. I like the whole the whole fact that you're talking about, bringing exposure to not only pro players but to everybody that's on your site, different teams, different players, because that's huge. A lot of those players don't get that exposure. When they have people like you and people like your company doing that for them, it's just that much better. So the second question I had for you, Silver, was when was Payday launched?
Payday was officially launched September 27th. So we launched with the Youth Esports of America Semester Series. So that's a high school leagues for both CSGO and League of Legends, which is currently going on through December, I believe, 6th or 8th, one of those. But it was a 6-week long tournament for them.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool. So September 27th of this year.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. Next question I had, what are the current games that Payday is hosting at this time?
Okay, so two of them we just mentioned, League of Legends and CSGO, and those for the semester series, again for the high school leagues. The other one is Street Fighter V. We started doing fight nights for that, Friday night fights. And then the other one that we're going to start introducing is Call of Duty. And two more that just popped on our radar today that we're going to start hosting are NBA Live and Madden.
Very cool. I know Madden's a big popular one. Madden is definitely the game that's been around for a while. Question from Blake in our chat. He said he wants to know more about the name Payday and how it came about.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Blake, because a lot of people, we get that a lot. Like, where did you get Payday? Well, we believe that every day should be payday, right? So you should be able to pay everyone every day. If you're in esports, you should be getting paid for playing. And we strongly, strongly believe that. And we're working to make that happen, Blake. So thanks for the great question, but that's where it came from.
That's awesome. And since we're on that topic, Jay Bona in the chat, I hope you heard that. Payday should be every day. So that's a big shout out to Joe B that's in the chat for coming out tonight and watching Gears of War Roster Mania. I actually told Joe B, he's a good friend of mine, Silva, that you were going to be on the show and I was going to be bringing you on and so forth. So I love the idea of the name. That's great. Payday should be every day.
There you go. That's our motto. Every day is payday.
That's awesome. And I didn't even think about it. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't even have thought about it. I was kind of like, Payday. All right, that's pretty catchy. It's pretty cool. Payday.gg.
Right? But no, yeah. Payday good games, man. That's what it is.
That's awesome. So the next question I had for you, Silver, which I thought was a pretty interesting question. How long have you been in esports?
Well, really, I don't know. Esports, when you really look back at the history, it's been around for a very long time. What people know as esports now, maybe I would say since MLG really started in 2000. But So let's keep it simple. 2001 is when I joined in with this esports community, like I said, with Halo facility B5D. So we had 100,000 member strong clan.
Awesome. That's okay. So you've been around for quite a bit. You've been able to see the change of like the small tube TV tournaments to what we have now. Obviously, monitors, big time money online, streams, website like your guys' site, being able to promote stuff like that. So obviously you've come a long way. Like myself, I feel like it's just growing every other month at this point. Right now, it's at a rapid pace. What do you enjoy most about esports? I know that's probably a weighted question, or maybe it's easy for most people, but when I ask that, I feel like people either have it or they need to think about it. But what do you enjoy most about esports?
Honestly, bringing something different to it. I always love being a part of the events. That's really what made it all happen to me. I love playing. I love competing. But when you see that you bring change to a team, a player, maybe a streamer, a content creator, a graphics designer, being able to give that opportunity to esports and be able to attend those events, I think that's what makes it all really worthwhile. I hadn't really missed any events until this past year that I missed the last two events. Other than that, I've been to every single Call of Duty event, to be honest with you, since I can remember. So it's the first time I missed 2 events, and it was this year.
Wow. And I know that hurts. You
Oh
missing
yeah,
missing
but
events.
it does hurt. But you know what? I was working on payday, so it's okay.
That's
So we're
fine.
okay.
That's what I was about to say. As long as you were productive, which it sounds like you are,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But it does hurt to miss the events. But hey, you know what? You got to work. It is what it is. And yeah, I give you props for that because I know I hurt if I miss an event. I'm like, oh my god. But hey, it's usually for something obviously productive. Um, Another question I had for you, Silver. What changes have you seen during your career in esports?
Man, that's very broad. I mean, we see changes almost every day happening, especially in the past 2 years. We've seen a lot of change. From teams, to people like Rick Fox coming in,
Hmm.
Shaq coming in, all those big names starting to come in. Those are the big exciting changes that I've seen. I had an opportunity to meet Roger Staffel, the owner of Rise Nation,
Oh,
and he was a great guy, and we sat down for a while when he was thinking of getting into it and buying, and luckily he moved down to LA with the Rams, and now he's here and he's able to. I remember watching him last year when Rise Nation won with Looney and them, and he was a it was a great opportunity to see some interesting people, celebrity type people, pro players from other sports industry in venues like esports. So very interesting changes. I love the way it's headed, and I love to be part of that change, and we are part of that change, and we're bringing something new to the esports industry as well. So very excited about that.
I agree with that. I think that ends with all the questions that I have for you, Silver. Again, I appreciate you being on here, representing Payday.gg. I wish you guys the best of luck. Obviously, I would love to work with you guys. Before I let you go, though, Silver, is there anything that you wanted to say, any shout-outs, anything about upcoming events or anything like that? Now's the time to do so.
Well, hey, listen, man, I just want to give a big shout out to the community itself, for these past few months that they've been going on, signing on, and helping us provide feedback on any changes they'd like to see and everything. But especially, I'd like to thank the crew behind Payday. You guys, it's a day in, day out job that we all do, and to try to bring you the best that we can, and continue to listen to all the, feedback that everyone provides on what they like to see. And believe me, just we have our Discord, discord.me/paydaygg. Go join it, provide feedback, anything you'd like to see, any tournaments you'd like to see. And really, guys, happy Thanksgiving to everyone enjoying this podcast. And I look forward to the next one.
Awesome, definitely, and I'll bring you guys back on here. But Silver, again, thank you guys. Make sure you check out Payday.gg. Make sure you guys sign up on there, get into their events. The exposure is there. Obviously, Silver is doing it best. I haven't seen really anybody right now doing what these guys do. Like you said, this is a day in, day out job. There's a lot of time, a lot of effort that goes into it, a lot of manpower. But Silver, again, thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking out your time of your day, and I wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, man. Likewise. Have a good one.
You too, buddy. Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, so that was Silver. That was the first guest of the night. We were supposed to have Joe. Joe is going to be in here. Joseph Little, like I said, guys, he's the VP of corporate development for YouStake Incorporated. For anybody that wasn't in here, and before I bring Joe in here, like I said, he is a former Army infantry officer. Again, another military vet. This is probably the 5th military vet I had here on the show, which again, I love. Always have to appreciate our military. Obviously, they need to get a little bit more love, show more love to them. They do a lot for us. I work with a couple of military guys in general throughout my life, and they do a lot, and sometimes they just aren't appreciated as much as they should be. So Joe has an extensive background as a project manager and strategic consulting experience. Joe joined YouStake as the head of business development and was a big part of the expansion into esports, which is great. Obviously, this is why I have him here tonight. He's currently the VP of corporate development, like I said, and he just returned from a trip to China in regards to YouStake. And I contacted Joe on LinkedIn and he was happy to be here. Within a couple of day turnover, Joe is here. He actually is ready. I'm going to be calling him. Like I said, guys, I don't know too much about YouStake myself, but that's kind of why I like doing this. I like bringing my guest on the show so that this mix amp. Sorry about that, guys. My mix amp went out. Not too sure what's happening with that, but we're back. Sorry, my mix amp checked out. But like I said, guys, Joe is going to be coming on here. I'm going to be calling him again on Skype, and we're going to be talking about YouStake. So without further ado, let me go ahead and. I don't know why that keeps happening. Sorry about that, guys. Probably reset the mix amp. Yeah, I did. Hopefully it doesn't go out again. Yeah. I went out again. Yeah, no, sorry about that. All right, so let me go ahead and call Joe, guys. We'll get him in on here. Hopefully that works. Uh, oh, no. Hoping he's ready. Oh, there it is. He's calling me now. There. Yay. Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, Gabriel, how you doing?
How's it going, buddy?
That's going fine. Did it not work? Did the call not work, or?
Yeah, when I was first calling you, it wasn't working, but I think we're good now, which is great.
Fantastic.
This is awesome. All right, so guys, this is Joe. Without further ado, we have him here. Joe, I did the introduction for yourself. Obviously, appreciate you being here, taking your time out of the day to do so.
No problem.
So I thank
Pleasure
you.
to be here.
So Joe, I did mention you, I did introduce you, but I would like you to talk a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I'm 30 years old. I work for YouStake. I'm the vice president of corporate development. And, previously I was in the Army and was an Army officer and strategic consultant. After leaving the military a little bit for Thurston Economic Development Council and a project manager for Pulte Homes.
Very cool.
Very, very varied experience. That's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Very cool. I know you've been all over the place, and again, I appreciate you serving our country. Like I said to Silver, who was just on here, you're probably like the 5th or 6th military guy on here. It happens that way. It's weird.
Nice.
I guess you guys are usually the nicest. You guys are willing to come on the show, help me out, and vice versa. So I appreciate you for that. But the first question I have for you tonight, Joe, obviously you probably know it, is what is YouStake for everybody here watching?
Definitely. Yeah. So YouStake is this platform. It's a central marketplace. And basically what it does is it allows for fans to support their favorite players and athletes through equity crowdfunding and rewards crowdfunding. In addition to that, we also assist event organizers with ticketing, registration, and payment processing. So it kind of brings all that together and provides that back-end support for them. And all of that's basically geared towards increasing the fan experience and in providing better visibility and support for not just esports events, but sports events as a whole.
Very cool. And how would you say that you guys got started, and where are you going with, what direction are you guys going in?
Definitely. So we got started. Our founders, which was Frank, Nick, and Scott, just have a lot of experience previously with dealing with the whole staking in poker, which is where we initially started, which was provided the support for poker players to compete and also receive training and travel as well. So we realized that was a problem that transcended all sports, and that's kind of where we started taking it, is expanding that ability to support those players and athletes with their fans directly, and really in getting them to engage with their fans at more frequently and a more personal experience.
Definitely, which is pretty interesting now that you broke it down a little bit towards the beginning. It's a really good idea. Again, YouStake, it's definitely something I see, definitely building, especially in esports right now. I think esports,
Right.
like I've said, is blowing up. I've been doing this since I was 15. I'm 26 now, and the difference is insane. You know what I mean? So there's so much opportunity for growth, so much opportunity for a company like, such as yourselves. So who is the team? I know you mentioned a couple of names out there, but tell us a little about your team and what you guys, I guess, kind of do. I know that's a big question, but general, specific, whatever you want.
Yeah, no problem. I'll start with just the founders. Frank's our founder. He's been an entrepreneur since he was 16. He's our CEO. He's actually former military also. He was an Army captain, and his background is finance. Managed over $2 billion for the National Guard. And we enlisted together, which is how we met.
That's cool.
And we were paratroopers together, so that was really cool. Scott's our COO. He's he's a veteran of 5 different startups, three really successful exits. So he kind of provides a little bit more mentorship and guidance for us. And then Nick is actually Frank's brother, and also one of the other founders. And Nick is kind of like our all-star. He's led a Barron's top team over at Merrill Lynch Bank of America with over $600 million under management.
Jeez.
So he crushes it. So he's our chief of compliance. And then we also have our 2 amazing developers, Ray and Jim, who helped pioneer the AI for Watson at IBM. And Caleb's also one of our BD guys, and he actually used to be a StarCraft player, and now he plays poker professionally.
Very cool. Damn.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a good strong team.
That's what I was gonna say. That's a
Definitely.
pretty strong team. That's awesome. The fact that there's so many, different routes, different industries, different jobs, different past experience. The fact that you have a player as well. He still is a player, but just not with StarCraft. That's pretty cool, and I think that's what makes a team great. And being able to pick and choose people from all over. You don't want everybody with the same, I guess, interests and the same mindset and so forth.
Definitely, we're like a Swiss Army knife.
That's what I was gonna say. That's pretty sick. And again, you don't learn about this stuff until I actually talk to my guests, and this is awesome. This is why I like having you. Having you here. So, what are the major problems you guys are solving?
So I would say that the major problems that we're solving, especially in esports, is providing those players with the ability to gain the capital they need to train, to travel, and to compete. You definitely see that, as Sean, like you said, you've been an esports pro player for over a decade now.
Seriously.
You definitely see that with the players that are up and coming, and even some of the vets. They have that issue with really training and getting the new mods underway, and so that's something that we can provide. We can help provide, and really the fans provide, which is a great not catch-22, but payoff for them as well, because now they're seeing their favorite player get better and compete at a higher level and be successful. And in addition to that, for the event organizers, the key that we see is really integrating with them to help them improve their payment processing. Again, with over a decade in the space, I'm sure you've heard all the horror stories of payment processing.
Insane.
Exactly. So, we successfully actually did payment processing for one of our partners, and the players were paid out pretty much instantly. It's just there were some issues with a routing number. But that was not our fault. So
yeah, I was gonna say that's probably not your guys' fault. Everyone swears they know their routing and account numbers or anything like that. But no, to touch on that, since you brought that up, I think that's what it makes you guys, big, and that's what's going to help you guys succeed, is the fact of the payment processing, just that whole process in general. Since, like you said, I've been playing for literally 10 years, probably like 12 years now. I've seen so many different companies come and go, different partners come and go, sponsors come and go, and that always seemed to be an issue, in general. And that's, again, that's why it's interesting that you came here and you explained a little bit more about what you guys do, which is great. And that's definitely something I could see benefit esports on a completely wide range with
Right.
unlimited potential. That's definitely an issue that I see in esports for quite some bit. I feel like it's gotten a little better, but I feel like we could use the help.
Right.
Definitely.
We can always be better, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's something I could see. So, what sports and why esports? Tell us a little bit about that.
Definitely. So, I mean, like I said, we started in poker with our MVP, our minimum viable product. We've expanded to esports. One, because like you said, it's rapidly growing, huge growth in the industry. Two, we just kind of enjoy it. I mean, you want to do what you love, right?
Definitely.
We love esports. So it's good for us to get into a industry that we like. But then additionally, other sports that we are catering to and looking at catering to in the future, like golf, table tennis, regular tennis, NASCAR, drone racing. So just a wide variety of different levels of athleticism and different player engagement. So that's kind of what we like to say is we're sports agnostic. Any sport that where you need the capital to train and to travel and compete, we're there for you. And where any sport where you want to engage with your fans on a more personal basis, we're here. And for event organizers, when you want more visibility and more fan inclusion, we're here. So
Absolutely, and like again, those are key things right now with events. In regards to that, I know a lot of events don't do as much marketing, or they would need help from an outside source, such as your guys' self, which is huge. Again, so moving on to the next question: key milestones or results. Anything about that?
right. So our key milestones have basically been, we're really proud that our customer acquisition cost is $3.83. And
Very low. That's good.
yeah, extremely low. It's been mostly organic growth. So we've been very successful in that sphere, and that's one of the key milestones that we've seen. Currently, we're raising $1 million outside to help improve our product. We're on net capital doing so. So we're raising some more funds in order to reach the key milestones of increased user growth. We've been very successful with growing our users 3 times year over year.
That's awesome.
So yeah, just been it's been a whirlwind experience. It's been amazing to see the product evolve and see how the interactions are growing with the fans, the event organizers, and the players and athletes, and increasing the engagement and the experience for all 3 of those.
Very cool. Yeah, and like you said, it's right now it's organic growth, which is probably the best growth, especially when you guys are starting up and building as a company. But the fact that you guys have that kind of number coming in organically is huge already. You know what I mean? That just shows that the product that you have is just going to get better with time and effort and motivation and the team, the team working together. I know one thing you said is that you had come back from China. Is that something in regards to YouStake or anything esports related?
It was in regards to YouStake. We just went out there on the cross-border tour for Plug and Play.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they're interested in potentially landing us in China. So, and we're interested in landing in China as well to provide that service to the Chinese fans of
sick.
esports, of table tennis, of
That's awesome.
any sport that exists. Yeah, so it's really cool. It's a great opportunity for us. It was a great time for me. I'll tell you, there's I actually been an organizer out there. I don't have his card right in front of me right now. I'll tell you the name, but there's some really cool stuff coming out of China that they're looking to expand into the U.S. and Europe, involving virtual reality, esports, and it's pretty next level stuff that I thought was a few years away, but apparently is coming today. So
Yeah, overseas, I'm sure you had a good time. One and two, you probably saw things, especially esports related, that probably, like you said, you wouldn't even think of. I'm sure if I went there, if you explained to everybody like, what? I thought that was like 5 to 10 years from now.
Right.
So I'm sure they're way advanced. I know esports is like a whole different world out there. Did you experience anything like that in regards to esports? I know they like promote these guys like they're celebrities out there.
I was traveling a ton, but I did see a couple, like a couple here or there, like not billboards, but when you're walking through like a bus station or a train station, you see those like those posters plastered. You saw a few of those, and that was really interesting to see. Just because in the States we don't really get to see, esports hasn't taken over as much as visually yet. But in China, yeah, like you said, it's definitely they're part of their sports heroes.
Absolutely. Definitely a different world out there. I wish it was like that in the United States, especially when I was playing. It's coming, hopefully. I definitely see that. It stinks now that I'm not competing anymore, but that's fine. You know what I mean? We got to let the younger guys come in and play.
Right.
But Joe, I think that's it for the night. Before I let you go, though, is there anything that you wanted to talk about? Any shout-outs? Anything that I may have missed that you wanted to bring up?
Oh no, that was great. I just really want to thank you, Gabriel, for having me on your show, and apologize for the technical difficulties we're having.
Hey, it happens, man. Don't worry about that. But again, thank you, Joe, and tell everybody at YouStake, all the guys, I appreciate them, having you on here, and hopefully working with you guys in the future. Again, thank you. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll talk soon enough.
You too. Take care, Gabe.
Take care, Joe. All right, guys. Well, that was Joseph Little, like I said, the VP of Corporate Development for YouStake Incorporated. If you guys don't know about them, find out about them. They're on LinkedIn. You could also probably look them up on Google.com. That's an awesome thing we could use now these days. YouStake Incorporated. Joseph Little, for everybody that wasn't here, former Army infantry officer. Again, thank him for his service. And yeah, so that was it for my guests, guys. I had Silver Padilla here, the CEO of Payday.gg, and Joseph Little, VP of Corporate Development for YouStake Incorporated. Again, I always like to have different guests from all over the industry. It gives them an opportunity to be able to voice their opinions, voice their companies, what they do, and so forth. I think that's a platform that I like to bring to my show. I don't just talk about Gears of War. Yes, I love Gears of War. Yes, I play Gears of War. Yes, I've been doing it for over 10 years. But it's awesome, and I think that's what differentiates my shows from most, is that I like to bring the business aspect. Astro Gaming is slacking with this mix amp. But yeah, again, guys, those are my two guests. Again, we like to talk about different aspects of the esports world. Business side, definitely marketing, promoting, payouts. Obviously, you guys need to check out Payday.gg. Just from the exposure alone that they bring to the game, they bring to everybody, amateur, pro, competitive gamers. Just from having me on the show, I thank Silver and the whole staff. They put me on their main page tonight on Payday.gg, which is awesome. That's huge exposure, guys. The fact that my Twitch page was on their front page tonight is huge, and a big thank you to Silver for that, as well as Joseph Little for taking his time out tonight to be here. Again, guys, this is the Wednesday evening before Thanksgiving, so I appreciate the people that give me their effort, give me their time. It really means a lot to me. And again, guys, without my viewers, without the guests, without my friends, family, there is no Gears of War Rostermania, and there is no NJ Cabano. So I thank you guys all for being here. So I'm not done yet, guys. I am going to be announcing my gaming chair partnership. Now, for everybody that's in here, I'm not just going to drop it right away. I do use a basic gaming chair from Staples. I know it's corny. So I've been in the market. I've been looking for a company to be working with and so forth. And I happen to have met this company at TwitchCon this past year. Obviously, that just happened in October. I met this company. I talked to the co-owner. I've talked to the owner. I talked to the staff. Everybody. I had them dine. I actually played some PUBGs while using their chair. Had these guys dine. Told them about my show. Told them how I could benefit from the chair. How they could benefit from me. So it went well. You always want to follow up with your email. You want to be super professional. You want to be able to just tell them, hey, look, it was great meeting you guys and talking to you guys, and I look forward to working with you guys possibly in the future. Guess what? Couple of weeks later, I get an email. This is yesterday, a couple of weeks later is like yesterday, saying, hey, we want to partner with you. We want to partner with your show. We've watched your past broadcast. We see that you have your chair. Obviously, it's nothing special, and we would love to partner with you. They sent me their contract. Very basic in a good way. That's not a bad thing. Basically breaking down the advertisement part, the marketing part, what I get in return and so forth, and signed it and sent it over yesterday. And I'm officially partnered with GT Throne. If you guys don't know GT Throne is on Twitter. It's at GTT Throne. They have a rumble pack in their chair. That's what's sick. You literally have a rumble pack as you're playing. You're being shot at, you're running, you're diving, the chair rumbles. The chair is completely awesome. It's extremely comfortable. It does have a lever on the side so you can go back and forth. Obviously, I could probably pass out in that chair. I don't know if I want to be in that chair while I'm here. But yeah, guys, check them out on Twitter. It's GT Throne on Twitter. The chair should be here next week. I'll probably have it for my next episode. I'm extremely happy to be working with them. Great groups of guys. Like I said, I probably talked to every single guy that works for the staff right now. There's probably like at least 10 of them. So they're happy to have me on here. I'm happy to have them as a sponsor, partner, whatever you want to call it. I should have my chair next week. I'll be excited to set it up and have it behind me streaming as well as gaming, guys. I'm going to be setting up my Elgato probably sometime this week or next week. I've been a little busy, so I'll be gaming and streaming, and you guys will be able to hear the chair. It scares you after a while, especially PUBG. When I was at TwitchCon, I actually got killed, and I jumped because you just don't expect it. And I thought it was an awesome idea. It definitely puts them above and beyond the other chair companies, just for the fact that it's extremely comfortable. It does everything that a DX Racer does, but you also have that, the rumble pack inside the chair, which I thought was pretty legit. And I'm excited to show you guys. I'll probably be doing a review video on it. But that's my gaming chair partnership. I thank GT Throne. I thank the whole staff. They are going to be sending me some marketing products and so forth, as well as my own discount code, guys. So my discount code is very easy to remember. It's NJ Cubano. Wow, that's crazy. Oh my God, that's so different. NJ Cubano is going to be my discount code. Depending on the promotion at the time, it's going to be anywhere from 5% to 10% off of your chair purchase. Like I said, guys, I'm going to show you guys on stream. I'll game. You'll be able to watch me through the camera. I'm extremely happy to be working with them, and I look forward to having it on stream and being able to show it to you guys. But in regards to my show and in regards to tonight, guys, I think that's it. Again, I appreciate everybody that comes out. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at NJ Cubano. Make sure you guys follow the stream, True Game Fans TV, on Twitch here, obviously. I will be live every Thursdays, guys. I'm usually live Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will change it up depending on, obviously a holiday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so I wanted to tell everybody here tonight, happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you guys celebrate tomorrow. Everybody be safe. Spend time with your loved ones. Spend time with your family. Those are the things that I feel like a lot of people don't appreciate that much. We all appreciate family and friends, but tomorrow is a great day for that. Watch some football, get fat, have some turkey, have some mashed potatoes, some mac and cheese. I'm a big family guy. I love to play music with family. I love to hang out, mess around, and so forth. So tomorrow is that day. I love you guys for being here. Like I said, this is a Wednesday evening. I didn't expect to have the most people here, but the only people that are here are the only ones that matter. So I thank you guys. Reaper, Blake, Bot Empire for showing up. Michelle's my girl. Thank you for being here tonight, Michelle. She's a great friend of mine. She's here. She's always supported me. She's always supporting the cause. Joe B as well. All you guys, you know. And I appreciate you guys all being here. Jake, I know you were probably busy. We do also have the giveaway that I'm currently doing, guys. So make sure you go on Twitter at NJ Cubano and go ahead and retweet my post if you guys don't mind. For everybody that's watching this on Twitter is huge for me. It's at NJ Cubano, like I said. Go ahead and retweet my pinned tweet. It's your chance at a limited edition Gears of War full-size replica Lancer gold-plated. Only 2,000 of them made. I have that currently up pinned on my Gears of War Rostermania Twitter, Team Raw Talent Twitter, Bot Empire Twitter, and NJ Cubano Twitter. It's going to be a raffle or a gleam, giveaway, whatever it is, at the end of December. So that's something huge that I want you guys to check out. Again, I don't want you to miss out on it. That is a big thing in regards to Gears of War. So if you guys are a big fan, make sure you go ahead and retweet that for me. But like I said, guys, I think that's it for tonight. Love you all for being here. You guys mean the world to me. So without further ado, you guys all know, if you've been here before, you all know that I like to close out the night a certain way. You know what I mean? I like yes, fist pumping time, baby. So guys, thank you for all being here. If you can't hear me when the music goes loud, thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. Happy Thanksgiving. I love all of you guys. Thank you to my guests, Silver, Joseph, Esports Gears, GT Throne. We'll have more of that coming up soon. But without further ado, it's time to get the party started. Oh, here it comes. After show is always hype. You know this. After show, the post-game show is always hype. Hey. I had to change hiding today too. Look at that. Yeah, man. Don't pick up back when the scene. Coming back from the girl, them ball out on the screen. It's like a dream, don't you? Post game show with NJ Cubano. Woman, wind up your body till the morning light. Then, girl, wave up your one because you know say you're tight. Woman, bounce and go long. Hey, Silver. Thank you for being here tonight, Silver. Thank you. You mean the world, buddy. Anytime I press up on your thighs, baby, I'm the man for rock you all night. Make you feel alright. Giving you the love in your life. Make you sweat till the morning light. Make this thing bites. Anytime I press up on your thighs, baby, I'm the man for rock you all night. Make you feel alright. Giving you the love in your life. Never too late to turn up. Never too late to turn up. I had my coffee too, guys. I had this whole coffee, medium coffee. Now I'm super lit. You guys are going to be up. I'm going to be playing Call of Duty on the Xbox on Mixer.com. Now this is just me sitting in my chair. Imagine me standing up. Bruh, they're not ready. Reaper, I won't be going to Dallas, actually. I'm turning my Xbox on right now. Guys, like I said, thank you guys for all being here tonight. I love you all. You guys mean the world to me. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at NJ Cubano. Follow my guests, Silver Padilla, Joseph Little. Thank you guys for being here. GT Throne as well for my gaming chair partnership. Love you guys. Jake, I didn't get my turkey suit in time, so I just came out tonight with the guns. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. We have one more song of the night. This is the last song, and then I have to go play some Call of Duty with my boys. My boy Brian, Perfection Knows, is in here tonight. Another big supporter of Gabe, aka NJ Cubano, of the show, as well as everybody that was here tonight. We were going for about an hour and a half tonight, guys. I'm sorry. A lot of interesting topics and a lot of music to be played. But after this song, I'm going to cut the stream. I'm going to have this up on YouTube like I always do. So make sure you guys go ahead and throw me a like, throw me a subscribe on YouTube. And love you guys. But it's time to turn up. Oh my. I got to play Call of Duty like this? It's mixer.com/NJ Cubano. Mixer.com/NJ Cubano. If you guys want to watch some interesting gameplay. They call me the three-piece king. Woo! Here it goes. Hey, 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 hey. Salt and pepper here.
Salt and pepper's here and we're in effect. Want you to push it back.
Before I let you guys go, I gotta get jiggy with it.
Working up a sweat. Come on, girls, let's go show the guys that we know how to become #1 in a hot body show.
Now push it. Now push it. Now push it. Now push it.
Now push it. Now push it. Now.
Alright guys, that's it for me tonight. Like I said, mixer.com/NJ Cubano. Thank you all for being here. Love you. Have a good night. Take care, and I'll see you next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. Miss her, kiss her, love her.